Well, where do I even start? Let's just get it out of the way first. Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop is either going to pique your interests or make you laugh your ass off. The reason is that the Wii port of Dead Rising is exactly that, a Nintendo Wii port of Dead Rising. You get what you paid for. Now, let's not shove the Wii under the rug here. It's a decent system for what it's set out to do. It's got a ton of great games, and most importantly, it's got Resident Evil 4. But the thing with porting Dead Rising, a game that pushed the 360 to its limits to a system that runs Call of Duty 4 like this, the issue is that you have to downgrade Dead Rising so far that it ends up being a whole new game. Some people will actually like the gimmick of Chop Till You Drop because it's the same feeling as playing the game on the iPhone. It's a horribly ugly, weird port of the game, but it's interesting to see a game like Dead Rising playing on much inferior hardware. It's actually impressive. But being impressive shouldn't be enough to give the game a pass. It isn't enough. Dead Rising on the Wii was not only downgraded, but heavily inspired by Resident Evil 4. Because they realized that running MT Framework on the Wii was just not possible. So they simply recycled the engine that RE4 used, which to some may be a good thing. RE4 is a great game and it plays great, but when you translate the feeling of RE4 to Dead Rising, it totally changes the feeling of the game. Dead Rising on the Wii now has lots of new mechanics that were commonplace in a game like RE4, but totally foreign to Dead Rising, such as ammo. I couldn't sit here and say that there is things about the Wii port of Dead Rising that are bad, because it's a totally different experience. If you played the 360 version of Dead Rising and then went to play the Wii version, you would probably throw up in your mouth. But if you went the other way and played the Wii port first and then checked out how amazing the 360 version was, it would make you appreciate how hard the Wii version tried to capture the 360 version. You could laugh at the Wii port for many reasons, such as pre-rendered Xbox 360 footage for the cutscenes, or the sheer size of how small the leisure park has become, or the QuickTime event Convict Battle, it's literally just a QTE, or the idea of zombie poodles and zombie parrots, or zombified bosses like Joe roaming the mall, or buying ammo from Cletus, you know, the guy that wanted to kill you, or the barricades set up throughout the mall to make you go the long way around to make it seem bigger, or the fact that the entire camera mechanic was dropped, probably due to performance issues, or the RE4 engine had trouble doing it. And I wouldn't blame you for laughing at these things. They are laughable, but it all kind of comes back to earth and is rather humbling when you realize how much of an accomplishment it was to make a game like Dead Rising run on a system barely 1/4 the power of the 360. Chop Till You Drop also allowed the players to experience the game in a different way, such as many new guns, the idea of ammo, which was pretty cool, the inventory system that was much like RE4, which honestly is a great adaptation of the original inventory. It was nice to have a pause menu page for your items. Felt very Resident Evil-ish. The game also gave the players minigames that you could unlock, which further added to the replay value. Even though these minigames were fucking weird, Dead Rising on the Wii cannot be compared to the 360 version because it is so far from it. The best comparison would be to Resident Evil 4. I would never sit here and tell you that you should play the Wii version of Dead Rising instead of the 360 version. That would just be plainly stupid. The 360 version, in my honest opinion, is better in every caliber, but the Wii version should be played if you want either an easier experience or to experience the 360 version in a whole new way. I know this review is short, because there isn't much to say about the Wii port of Dead Rising. You either love it or you hate it. I never found it interesting because I started with the 360 version, so downgrading to a lower quality port of the game didn't make much sense to me, but to some, it could actually be a great game. You should try it out for yourself and see what you think, but with that, thanks for watching, and as always, subscribe for more.